जरूर जरूर।
रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन।
ओके, तो
हाँ जी बॉस, करिए।
स्टार्ट। प्रशांत जी, क्या हम स्टार्ट?
यस सर, रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू हो गया, फेसबुक लाइव भी हो गया।
ओके, so very good afternoon to one and all esteemed teachers, scholars and academicians presented over here in the platform of Academy of Rog Nidan. I welcome you all on this virtual platform behalf of Academy of Rog Nidan again. All the esteemed teachers, scholars and viewers of Academy of Rog Nidan by the virtual mode in this 29th single lecture guest series executed under the flagship of or able flagship of Academy of Rog Nidan. We have started our lecture since I think May 2020 at the grievous time of pandemic COVID-19. And now today is our 29th successive guest lecture going to deliver by Dr. Priyadarshini Tiwari from Faculty of Ayurveda, Institute of Medical Science, Banaras Hind University. And today our chairman is very famous and renowned academician of Rugnidan from Maharashtra, Tilak Ayurvedic College, Professor Manjiri Deshpande Madam. So behalf of the coordinator, I, Ved Anurag Pandey, welcome you all in this virtual platform. और इसके साथ में आप, यह मेरे लिए एक गौरव का विषय है कि मैं काशी हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय में बैठ करके इसको आयोजित कर रहा हूं। और जैसा कि हम सभी लोग जानते हैं, हमारी एकेडमी ऑफ रोग निदान की एबल लीडरशिप परम आदरणीय इसके जो राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं प्रोफेसर पवन कुमार गोदतवार सर फ्रॉम राष्ट्रीय आयुर्वेद संस्थान जयपुर, और जनरल सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर अतुल कुमार वार्ष्णेय सर, हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रोग निदान, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश की एबल लीडरशिप के द्वारा इस यजन को आहूत किया गया। और आज यह यजन की 29th आहुति है। इसमें एक विशेष योगदान है काशी हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय का। यह हमारे डिपार्टमेंट का 4th लेक्चर है। शुरुआत में हमारे हेड साहब प्रोफेसर PS व्याडगी सर ने स्टार्टिंग की थी, फिर प्रोफेसर कर, हमारे सीनियर फैकल्टी मेंबर प्रोफेसर AC कर सर का लेक्चर हुआ। उसके बाद मुझे भी इस अवसर प्राप्त हुआ आप सभी के बीच में आने का। और उसके बाद में अब हमारे यहाँ की डायनेमिक मैडम डॉक्टर प्रियदर्शनी तिवारी मैडम का आज लेक्चर होने जा रहा है। तो विभाग की तरफ से साथ में ही हमारे लिए गौरव का विषय है कि हम लोग एकेडमिक कार्यों में तत्परता से संलग्न रहते हैं, और साथ में ही एकेडमी ऑफ रोग निदान की फ्लैगशिप में आज का यह 29 लेक्चर होने जा रहा है। तो इसी के साथ में ही हम भारत की अक्षुण्ण परंपरा का संवहन करते हुए और हमारे संस्कारों से संलिप्त अतिथि देवो भव और श्रीमणि रंभा वारिणी अमीय शंख गजराज कल्प देह में धनु धन्वंतरी विशिवाज, ऐसी हमारी परंपरा है कि कुछ भी हम अगर प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करते हैं तो हम धन्वंतरी भगवान के वंदन करके ही स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो मैं प्रशांत जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि धन्वंतरी वंदना को प्रस्तुत करें।
घटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिहृद्यां शुक परिविलसन्मौलिमम्भोजनेत्रम् कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यम् वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगदवनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम्।
welcome again. And now it's my privilege to introduce two main face of today's event, Dr. Priyadarshini Tiwari and Professor Deshpande Madam. So for today's lecture, we have a renowned speaker, Dr. Priyadarshini Tiwari. She is BMS, MD, and PhD from Prakriti Vigyan from Banaras Hind University, and actively working as an assistant professor, stage 3, that is near about associate professor, or I must call associate professor from Department of Prakriti Vigyan, Faculty of Ayurveda, Institute of Medical Science, and Great Banaras Hind University. Madam has completed his 20-year experience of teaching and clinical and research for UG, PG, and PhD. Madam has published more than 50 research papers in various index and peer-reviewed research papers. Madam also delivered more than 35 guest lectures in various conferences, and Madam has published 3 books and 4 chapters in a various books. Madam received near about 5 to 6 very prestigious awards from various recognized institutions, और उनमें से कुछ का नाम है माधव विशारद अवार्ड, यशस्वी गौरव अवार्ड 2017, कस्तूरबा ज्वेल ऑफ इंडिया 2017, एंड मणिकर्णिका मनु स्मृति अवार्ड फ्रॉम बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी। इसके साथ में ही मैडम एक बहुत ही अच्छी कुशल समाज सेविका भी हैं और हमारे विभाग की बहुत ही एक एक्टिव मेंबर हैं। और जैसा कि मैडम का नाम है प्रियदर्शनी तिवारी, वैसा ही उनका नेचर भी बड़ा ही सौम्य है, और यह हम लोगों की उपलब्धि है कि मैडम हम लोगों के बीच में हैं और आज हम लोगों को मौका मिला है कि मैडम को हम सुनेंगे। आज के चेयरमैन, आज के इस सिंगल लेक्चर सीरीज के लिए जैसा कि हम लोगों ने प्रायोजित किया था कि हमारे साथ में एक बहुत ही रिनाउंड एकेडमिशियन है जो कि आज इस लेक्चर को चेयर कर रही हैं। उनका नाम है प्रोफेसर मंजिरी देशपांडे। मैडम मैडम इज प्रोफेसर एंड फैकल्टी मेंबर फ्रॉम तिलक आयुर्वेद महाविद्यालय पुणे, एंड मैडम हैज 20 year teaching experience of UG, PG, and PhD, and worked in the fellowship program like FIIM, FAIMER, and Madam actively member of various prestigious governing collaborating bodies and committees. Madam supervised 22 PG thesis and 3 PhD work. Madam has published 22 research papers in various index journal and 1 book. तो इसके साथ में ही हमारे साथ में आज भारत की और रोग निदान की वंदनीय मातृशक्ति हैं, दोनों को मेरा नमन प्रणाम। और आज मैं हमारी चेयरपर्सन प्रोफेसर मंजिरी देशपांडे मैडम से निवेदन करूंगा कि वो इस लेक्चर को स्टार्ट करने की अनुमति प्रदान करें। नाउ द माइक इज ओवर टू डॉक्टर प्रियदर्शनी तिवारी मैडम। मैडम काइंडली ब्लेस अस और स्टार्ट योर लेक्चर।
Thank you, Dr. Anurag. With the permission of all the seniors and teachers, I would like to start my lecture. This is actually a study which we have done in our department as a part of the MD study. So as a person of Rog Nidan, what we are more concentrated on the diagnostic procedures. So with keeping in view this, the Rog Nidan subject, and we are in our Rog Nidan department, we are only concentrating mainly on the diagnostic purposes and observational studies. So this is the one of the study, this is the part of the one of the study which we have done for the MD. Along with this study, we have done also for the diabetic patients, because in there is ample studies which are done on the jiva or the tongue examination. We can find when we go on the internet, you can find that there are so many studies are there, and even in the Chinese medicine and the other Asian medicines, we can find that they have also given lot of emphasis on the jiva or the tongue examination, because you all know that the tongue is the part of the body which we can directly observe, and it is a dynamic where you can see the changes according to the disease condition. That's why we have planned that the study should be done over the healthy individual first or healthy volunteers first. And in relation to the Prakriti and Agni, we have planned this study. As the resident of this holy city Varanasi, I first bow to Lord Vishwanath and seek the blessings of Lord Vishwanath to start this lecture. As you all know that this university was established by Bharat Ratna revered Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji. I bow to Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji also. This is the Singha Gate of our university, Banaras Hindu University, where you enter. This is the gate at the night time where it is illuminated, and you can see that it looks very nice and it is very, very beautiful. Those who have not visited the university, I welcome you all to visit the university and get the blessings of Lord Vishwanath and Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji. Everyone will be very much surprised to see this university, that how nicely it is built. This is the entrance of our Institute of Medical Sciences, where this Sarva Vidya ki Rajdhani, Saraswati Mata is there. You can get the blessings of Mataji. And as you know that this city, Varanasi, it is a holy city, for a place for Hindus, Gangaji, and every night or every evening there is Ganga Aarti is performed. So by Pandit Madan Malviya ji, this is the goal which Malviya ji has kept in mind before establishing this university, that na tvayam kamaye rajyam, na moksham, na swargam, na punarbhavam, kamaye dukkha taptanam praninam artinashanam. This is actually the shlok from Ved. Pandit ji says that I don't desire for the crown, I don't desire for the heaven, nor even for the salvation, but what my desire is to eradicate the sorrows of the creatures, those who are suffering. So keeping in this view, this university was established. Now let us start why this the particular study, as a particular study was done. So rog nidan or rog pariksha is the importance of that is rog madhav pariksha tatanantara aushadham तत्कर्म भीषक पश्चात ज्ञान पूर्व समाचरेत यस्तु रोगम विज्ञायम कर्मण्या भरते भीषकः आपे औषध विधानस्य तस्य सिद्धिर्युत्रिच्छया. So before starting treatment of any disease, it is essential to do the diagnosis of the disease. Then you can diagnose the various components of the disease like nidan or hetu, then dosh which are involved, dusha, the samprapti or pathogenesis which is being involved, and according to that only the treatment of the disease can be done and successfully done. So before going to the treatment, initially the diagnosis has to be done, which is the crucial part of the diagnosis. And for the purpose of diagnosis, in our Ayurvedic text, various types of pariksha, that is the examination, manifolds examination are mentioned. The charak, sushrit, and they have mentioned different types of examination. So Trivid pariksha, which I will come with the details of this, I will discuss in the coming slide. That is the Trivid pariksha, Chaturvid pariksha, Panchavid pariksha, Shadvid pariksha, Ashtasthan nirikshan. Regarding the Ashtasthan, they have discussed that it is Ashtasthan nirikshan. It is not the pariksha, but the examination is of 8 places or 8 sthan over the body has to be done for the purpose of diagnosis. Then Dashavid pariksha and Dwadash pariksha, these are all mentioned. I will be discussing here about the Ashtasthan Nirikshan, and about the Ashtasthan Nirikshan, the main emphasis is given on this, that is the Jiva Pariksha. This Ashtasthan Nirikshan has been mentioned by Acharya Yog Ratnakar in his text in the late 17th century. Now, the details regarding the various types of examination, that Dvividha Pariksha includes the Pratyaksha and Anuman Pariksha, that is the direct examination, and Anuman is the inference what you draw. Then the Trivid Pariksha, there are different types of Trivid Pariksha, that is Aptabdesh, Pratyaksha, Anuman, Darshan, Sparshan, and Prashna Pariksha. These are mentioned by Acharya Charak. Chaturvid Pariksha, one more thing is added to this Trivid Pariksha, that is Yukti. So on the basis of Aptabdesh, Pratyaksha, and Anuman, you have to draw the inference, and then mainly this is used in diagnosis as well as the treatment purpose. Then Shadvid Pariksha, that is the examination which is to be done with the help of the Pancha Gyanendriya, and also it includes the Prashna Pariksha or interrogation of the patient. Ashtasthan Nirikshan, which include Nadi, Malamutra, Jiva, Shabda, Sparsha, Drik, and Akriti. So I will be discussing more about this Jiva Pariksha. So according to Yog Ratnakar says that Rogakranta Sharirasya Sthanya Ashto Nirikshayet Nadi Malam Mutram Jiva Shabda Sparsha Drukakriti. So these 8 examinations, the examination of 8 things are important for the diagnosis of the disease. So main emphasis here I will be giving on the tongue examination, that is the Jiva Pariksha. Why Jiva Pariksha? Because the tongue is it is like the mirror which gives you the information regarding the digestive system, the status of the digestive system, because digestive system or the Agni is very, very crucial in development of diseases as well as treatment purpose. So, and this is related with the Prakriti and also Vikriti, that is the Vikriti of the disease. So how we can diagnose with the, some physical characters are also mentioned regarding the examination of the tongue or the jiva, that is the color of the tongue, the size, the shape, the coating, which is coating may be present or may not be present over the surface of the tongue. There is presence of fissure over the tongue. That will come in the later slide, how the fissures are present in the healthy person, and if they are present in abundance, whether it is disease condition or what you can diagnose. Then also the moisture which is there on this, which is dependent upon the saliva or the moisture of the mouth or the oral cavity. Let us see about the jiva. What are the things mentioned in jiva, about jiva in our Samhitas? So jiva is the term which is made up of the word lih with the one and ka, which means the fire. It is a strilingi word. Lihanti napunsaklingi. It is mentioned in Ratnamala that it is a napunsaklingi jiva kli. Regarding the normal appearance of the tongue, in various Samhitas, it is mentioned that the tongue should be the normally, or the ideal tongue should be long, it should be broad, smooth and thin. Why thin? Because if the tongue is thick, then it is difficult to pronounce the word. There are certain characteristics which are mentioned for the shishya, that if you need a proper shishya or a good shishya, so to pronounce the words or the pronounce these shlok which is mentioned as it is, these pronunciation of the words or the pronunciation of the mantra, that should be appropriate. So for that purpose, the tongue should be thin. It is mentioned like that. The ideal shishya should have a thin tongue. So that tongue will help in proper pronunciation. Now in Charak Vimansan 8 Adhyay, it is mentioned that the normal tongue should be thin, it should be red in color and clear. There should be no fissures or there should be no coating over the tongue. So that is the normal characteristics or appearance of the tongue. Sushrit has also mentioned that normally the tongue should be thin tongue. So that is the ideal one. If you look for the size, so overall, if you see that it should be a broad and long tongue, which is mentioned that it is the normal one. If you see the color of the tongue, either it is red or coppery or pink in color. And in case of Raktasar Purush, it is mentioned that the color of the tongue is coppery red. Thin tongue, it is already mentioned that the tongue should be ideally thin. There should be no coating present over the surface of the tongue and the surface should be smooth. Then regarding the anatomy, which is mentioned in our Samhita, in Sushruta Samhita, Sharir Sthan 5th chapter, it is mentioned that the tongue is having peshi or muscles. There is one muscle in the tongue. There is presence of sevani. Sevani is suture. So there is presence of one suture in the tongue, or the sevani in the tongue is one. The counting of snayu or ligaments, there are 5 ligaments or snayu in the tongue. Then it is mentioned that jiva bandhan is the pranayatan mentioned by the Ashtang. It is mentioned in the Ashtang Sangraha that it is the one of the pranayatan. These are the seat where the pran, or these are the vital organs where the pran resides. So it is not mentioned in Charak, but according to the Ashtang Sangraha, it is mentioned as the one of the pranayatans. It is the seat of the life. It has to be protected. So jiva bandh, there is an attachment of the tongue, so that has to be protected. If you see scientifically that this area is rich in blood circulation, maybe that's why it is mentioned. Then regarding the blood supply, it has been mentioned in Ashtang Sangraha that they are having jiva is having 2 branches of urdhvagami dhamani. And regarding the measurement of the mouth, it is different. It has been given different by Charak, Sushruta and Bhagavad, that it is 5 angul, 4 angul or 6 angul if you see the circumference or the diameter of the mouth. Then what are the different anatomical terms which are used in the Ayurvedic Samhita regarding the tongue or regarding the jiva? So jiva is mentioned as one of the organ, and in Charak Vimansthan, it has been given that the Vata Prakriti Purush, the type of jiva, how the jiva will appear in case of Vata Prakriti Purush, that has been given. Then Jiva Mool, it has been mentioned by Charak in Sutra Sthan, that Trishoti Adhyay, regarding the shoth which appears at the root, that is the jivha mool, which is termed as upajivika or upajivha. So that has been mentioned. Jivha agra, that is the tip of the tongue, what we call it as. So Sushruta has given uh, the name Jivha agra, which is present, that you all know that it is a Jivha agra or tongue, the tip of the tongue. Then Jivha Gata Sira, regarding the anatomy or the presence of Sira, that is Sira Varna Vibhakti Sharir Adhyay, regarding the Vat Vahini Sira, it has been mentioned that Jivha contains 9 Shiras. Jiva Gata Dhamani has also been mentioned by Sushrut in Sharir Sthan 7th chapter, that Jiva Gata Dhamani are present. If you see the embryological development of the Jiva, it has been mentioned in Charak Sharir Sthan that the tongue is the organ which is developed during the 3rd month of the intrauterine life, and it is made up of Apamahabhut. So Apamahabhut, which is necessary for the, it is essential for the Rasa Gyan, Rasa Gyan, yani ki for the taste, examination of the taste, or for the knowledge regarding the taste or the ras, the Apamahabhut, it is made up of Apamahabhut. The formation or the formation of the tongue, it has been mentioned by Ashtang Sangrah Sharir Sthan that tongue is made up of Mans Dhatu, Asrik, and Kapha. So these are the main things which the tongue is made up of. Acharya Yog Ratnakar, while discussing regarding the features of Dosh Prakop which are seen over the Jiva, he has mentioned some characteristics regarding the Dosh Prakop. So Vata Dosh Prakop, in case of Vata Dosh Prakop, Jiva will become sheath, khar, that is, it will become rough, and sfutit. Sfutit means there will be lot of fissures which will be present over the surface of the tongue. Then in case of Pitta Dosh Prakop, Jiva becomes Raktavarna. That is, in case of Pitta Dosh Prakop, Jiva becomes, the Varna of Jiva will be changed, and also it may become Sham Varna, a blackish, reddish or blackish it may become. Then when there is Kapha Dosha Prakop, Jiva may become Shwet. The color of the Jiva may change, and also the moisture and the pichilta, that is, it will become slimy. So slimy, how you can detect that, we will see in the coming slide, that how we have done this study and how we have detected this pichilta or the moisture. There are certain methods for determination of that, so we have applied those methods. Then in case of Sanipat dosh, where the jiva is prakupit by the Sanipat, it may become Krishna Varna, Sakantak, there will be a lot of Kantak, or the jiva become rough, or there will be prominence of there will be prominent the surface may become prominent, and also it may become dry, Shushkata. Shushkata will appear over the trunk. Dvandvash dosha prakop, there will be mixed features of the affected dosha which will appear over the surface of the tongue, that we can diagnose very well. There are certain pathological conditions or syndromes which are mentioned in various contexts of various diseases, that there is loss of moisture. Jiva karkashta has been mentioned, that jiva may become karkash, there is loss of moisture of the tongue. In some disease condition it has been mentioned. So in Chikitsa Sthan 22 chapter, that is Trishna Chikitsa, it has been mentioned that as a one of the Samanya Lakshan, that jiva becomes karkash, or it may become protruded. Jiva karkashta has been mentioned, or jiva nirgaman or protruded jiva can be seen in case of Trishna. When the Trishna appears, excess of Trishna is there, these are the Samanya Lakshan which are mentioned by the Acharya Charak in chapter Trishna Chikitsa. Then Jivha Nirodh has been mentioned in the next chapter, that is Vishwa Chikitsa Adhyaya, Jivha Nirodh, where Acharya Charak says that in case of Vish Prabhav, the Prabhav of Vish, it appears over the various vital organs. So one of the organ which appear, the symptoms appear is Jivha. So Jivha Nirodh, there will be obstruction, or the movement of the Jivha becomes less. So in case of that, the person is affected with the wish, what you have to do is you have to do the Nasya Prayog. So by doing the Nasya Prayog, the prabhav of wish will disappear, and you can see that the jiva will become normal, or the symptoms of the wish chikitsa will disappear. Wish will disappear if you do the Nasya Prayog, and along with the other treatment which has been mentioned for the particular type of wish. Then it is mentioned that jiva shosh is there. So Jiva shosh is the symptom which appears because of excessive thirst, and it has been also mentioned in different types of fever that where there is vata vriddhi, dryness of the tongue, or Jiva shosh may appear. Then the you can, it is mentioned that Jiva shavathu is there. Jiva in Indriya sthan Anu Jyotirindriya, it has been mentioned that in Bragna, and there is a disease which is mentioned where uh, the symptoms which are which appear because when the person death of the person is near. So near to that, the symptom which appear is one of the symptom is Jiva shot, that there will be swelling over the tongue. Mm, then uh, Jivha Stambha or palsy of the tongue has is also one of the disease which is mentioned in Ashtanga Hridaya. Then Jivha Uplep. Jivha Uplep has been mentioned by is mentioned by Acharyas regarding the Purva Roop of Prameha. It has been mentioned that in case of Prameha, particularly in case of Madhumeha and the other Prameha, there is Uplep of the Jiva. There is excessive coating over the tongue, which appears as a Purva Roop of the Prameha. So that coating, if excessive coating is present over the tongue, it, it inference can be drawn that the patient may be suffering from Prameha Vyadhi, and you have to diagnose accordingly if the patient is actually suffering from the Prameha. So it has been mentioned that it is the one of the Purva Roop, that Jiva Uplep is there. Then the term Jiva Vishodhan also appears. And this term Jiva Vishodhan in Charak Chikitsatam 8th chapter has been mentioned in Yakshma Chikitsa in reference to preparation of Yavani and Shadow. So the effect of Yavani and Shadow is Jiva Vishodhan. It has been mentioned how to prepare that Yavani and Shadow to give it to the patients of various disease, particularly in case of Rajakshma Chikitsa, it has been mentioned. So when this Yavani or shadow has been is been given to the patient, the effect will be Jiva Vishodhan, tongue will become clean. I think we can skip this slide. The normal color of the tongue, which has been said that it is grayish in color, these are also mentioned already in the Samhita, and we have discussed also earlier that in case of various diseases like Jwaradhikar, it has been mentioned that when there is a kapha, jiva will appear, so the color of the jiva will become shukla. In case of Pittadhikya or Jwaradhikar or Sannipata Jwar or Pittadhik Jwar, it has been mentioned that the jiva may become raktavarna, adhik raktavarna the jiva will become. In case of Madatya, when the asadhya Madadya lakshan will appear, the jiva may become nilab. Nilab, that is the cyanosis of the tongue may develop. In case of Madatya or excess of uh, the intoxication, if the patient is getting intoxicated, excessive in case of excessive intoxication or Madatya, asadhya, where it is asadhya, there it will appear that the jiva has become nilab. Then in case of Tridosha Dikya, in case of Jwaradhikar or Sannipata Jwar, it has been mentioned that the Jiva Varna may become Krishnab or it may become Raktab. So the different types of color change has been mentioned. Also the different physical features which may change according to the disease condition, they are mentioned in Ayurvedic text. This particular picture is not related with the Ayurvedic Samhita, but I have come across many other system of medicine before. When we have planned this study, we have seen that what is mentioned regarding the jiva in other medical like in Sowa Rigpa or the other ancient or Chinese medicine, and the other medicine which is practiced in the Asian countries. Their belief is that the tongue is the seat and it gives you the information regarding the various organs which are present in the body. And if you see from the tip of the tongue to the base of the tongue, the diagram is like inverted. So this area are representation of the lungs. So if any deformity or if any disease appear over in this lung, this area will get affected. This is not mentioned in Ayurvedic text, but this is in some Asian medicine or some system of medicine like Sowa Rigpa or some Chinese medicine or Korean medicine. They believe that the tongue is representation of the various organs and its systems. So the disease, if it is present in particular organ, the manifestation of that will appear over this particular part of the tongue. That we can see here, the it is inverted. These are the area for lungs, this is for the esophagus, and the trachea, this is for the heart, and the stomach, the liver and the spleen. So it is like an inverted one, and this is for the kidney. So I came across, so I wanted to share this. This is nothing to do with the Ayurvedic Samhita, but this is an interesting thing. That's why these are the various references regarding the tongue examination or Jiva Pariksha in Ayurvedic Samhita. Now coming to our study, we have hypothesized that the characteristics of the tongue, that is the particularly the physical characteristics like color, size, shape, coating, fissure and the moisture, only these things we have studied. They are according to the prakriti of the individual, and also the effect of the agni will appear over the tongue surface. So those effect we have tried to study. So the Jiva Pariksha study has been done over the healthy volunteers. Healthy volunteers we have selected from our BMS and BNYS course students. Then the questionnaire is already there, which we have used for assessment of Prakriti and Agni. This questionnaire is already validated, and this is a standard one. So we have followed that questionnaire regarding the Prakriti Pariksha and Agni as the characteristics. We have tried to relate the characteristics of the Jiva along with the Agni, characteristics of the Prakriti and the characteristics of Jiva that we have tried to study. So these studies were carried out in our faculty, particularly the students of the BMS and the BNYS were recruited for the study. We have used the camera to capture the image and to assess the size, shape, coating, fissure and moisture of the tongue. There are various methods for examination. That is, after clicking the picture, you have to examine the photograph, and then according to that photograph you can assess the size, shape. There are other methods also, so we have used these methods for assessment of this characteristics of the tongue. Then for assessment of the moisture of the tongue, there are again two methods, but here we have used the filter paper. There is another method for assessment of moisture, that is the with the help of the laryngeal mirror also you can assess. There are various scores, so that scores also we have used, so that the various methods have been used for the study. Then we have also assessed the pH of the saliva or the pH of the tongue. So in case of healthy volunteers, we have seen the pH also. The method which we have followed is, after rinsing the mouth properly, the tongue was examined in natural light. The person was asked to sit on the chair and then comfortably, and then protrude out the tongue, and within the 1 minute of the protrusion of the tongue, the before scraping of the tongue, because we have to see the tongue coating as well, the color of the tongue coating, the thickness of the tongue coating. So the scraping was not done, and before that the picture was taken, and we have examined the dorsal part, ventral part, lateral surfaces of the tongue to see the coating, color, coating, fissure, even the venous engorgement also we have tried to see, and the thickness of the tongue. These were the parameters which we have tried to study. The inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria which we used for this particular study was, the age group of the all the volunteers was in between the 20 to 40 years. ज्यादातर तो लोग 20 ईयर से लेके 30-32 इसी एज ग्रुप के थे, बट फिर भी हमने एक 40 ईयर्स लिखा कि अगर कोई होगा तो, बट दे वर नॉट. Then healthy volunteers were selected. We have already done all the biochemical investigation to ensure that they were healthy. Also the physical examination, clinical examination was done. Both the male and the female volunteers were selected for this particular study. Exclusion were done, that is the volunteers those who were having dental problems, or the volunteers those who were having the habit of chewing pan, tobacco, gutka, etc. They were excluded from this study. Then regarding the size of the tongue, how we have studied that, the volunteers they were asked to protrude out the tongue, and with the help of the measuring tape या फिर scale जो फुट पट्टी होती है उसके हेल्प से भी आप टंग का साइज जो होता है वो मेजर कर सकते हैं. Then there is another criteria which is already this is established criteria for the shape size of the tongue. So this criteria also we have used, that is the Malampati classification, which is there for various classes of tongue. So class 1, which include the visualization, according to this criteria, what we had to do is we had to ask the volunteer or the patient to open the mouth, and after opening of the mouth, whatever visualize is there, what you can visualize, that you have to see whether the uvula is visible, or whether the fauces are visible or not, or the tonsils are visible or not. So after opening of the tongue,
ਕਲਰ ਟੰਗ ਦਾ ਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪਤਾ ਕਰਦੀ ਪਈ ਹੈ? ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਮਾਊਥ ਦੀ ਓਪਨਿੰਗ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ
please mouth yourself, sir. Madam, please continue.
Airway assessment criteria condition having the size of the tongue, but airway assess करना anesthetic.
Sandeep sir, please mute yourself.
Okay, shall I continue? So
Yes.
class 2 tongue is that where you can only visualize the uvula if the fauces are not visualized. So if the tongue is large, then this area gets covered. So similarly, class 3 tongue and class 4 tongue are there. This is the size. So if the large tongue is there, then it is difficult to visualize the fauces. And in case of large tongue, where the tongue is big enough, it will be present inside the mouth, but you are not able to visualize the posterior part of the, like soft palate is not visible and the other part are not visible. So this also we have used. This is the same thing, the Malampati criteria. According to that, the classes of the tongue of class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4 tongue. So class 3 and class 4 tongue, they are that we have assessed that as a large tongue. Small size tongue is also there. So we have come across certain individuals or volunteers which were having the small size tongue. Then shape of the tongue. So we have assessed the image. When we have taken the image of the tongue, we have seen the what kind of image it is, and after protrusion of the tongue, in the coming slides, I will discuss how we have seen the shape of the tongue. So image were taken with the help of camera. They were assessed for the shape of the tongue by drawing an arbitrary line from the angle of the mouth to the tip of the tongue. Color, by direct visualization also you can assess the color, and also there is a standard color checker chart. So with the help of that chart, we have tried to correlate the color of the tongue. So we will coming in the next coming slides, I will tell you what color chart we have used. Coating of the tongue, that is jivha uplep, which is mentioned in Ayurveda. So for that coating also we have used the criteria which is scientifically evaluated. So the observation of the tongue and making assessment about the depth and breadth of the tongue coating, there is a lead of tongue coating index is there, which we have used here for assessment of the coating and also the coating extension. Kitna coating hai aur kitna uska extension hai. So there are, coating is primary coating and secondary coating, or you can also call it an extension of the coating. So that we will discuss here. So by visualizing this, if after taking the picture of this, when the patient or the volunteers protrude the tongue, the picture is being taken. This picture there, over this picture, the line is being drawn. You can see one more fine line is also drawn here. So this is the primary and the secondary one. So there is a score which is already, this criteria is already standardized. We have not, but we have only used this criteria for assessment of the tongue कोटिंग एंड द कोटिंग एक्सटेंशन, कितना एक्सटेंशन है उसका, प्राइमरी कोटिंग है, सेकेंडरी कोटिंग है, कितना एक्सटेंशन है, उसको असेस करने के लिए हमने ये कोटिंग इंडेक्स क्राइटेरिया को हमने यूज किया है. सो दीज पिक्चर्स आर वन एंड द सेम थिंग. सिर्फ ये है कि दिस इज द लॉन्ग टंग एंड दिस इज द ब्रॉड टंग विच यू कैन सी, और दिस इज द वी शेप टंग एंड दिस इज द यू शेप टंग. So here you can see that primary and secondary coating, one line is drawn over here and another line is here. So primary coating, this is the primary coating and secondary coating. So again, this is divided into two. So one imaginary line is again drawn here. So now this become 4 parts, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So line is drawn here so that it can again divided into 8 parts. So according to this parts, you can see the presence of the coating over here, and according to the thickness of the coating, the various score has been given. That score we will discuss in the coming slide. That if there is no coating, primary and secondary coating, 0 score is being given to that. If there is less than 1/3 part of the 1/3 zone is covered, then one score has been given. More than 1/3 but less than 2/3 part of the surface of the tongue is being covered, then 2 score is being given. If more than 2/3 part of the tongue is covered with the coating, then 3 score is being given. Then by addition of this score, that is primary and secondary score, we have to add this score, and according to that the total of this score is done. And according to this scoring, you can see whether the type of coating. So if 1 and 2 are there, then there is no coating, or tongue is normal, there is no coating at all. Then if the scoring, addition of the scoring is 3, 4 or 5, there will be mild coating, but it is transitional. And it is a it has been seen that the tongue coating is also associated with the odor problem. That is, the coating is made up of the whatever the food we ingest, and also the tissue which the squamous tissue or the dead tissue of the oral cavity get deposited over the tongue, so that it will appear as a coating. Then if the scoring is 6, 7 and 8, then moderate coating, it is considered that the coating is moderate. And if the scoring is more than 9 or equal to 9, that the tongue is said to be heavily coated. Then other parameters what we have studied is the fissure over the tongue. The fissure you can very well see by capturing the picture. It is visualized what type of fissure it is present, whether it is the central fissure or whether it is the fissures are multiple. What type of fissures are there, that you can very well visualize directly and also on the in the photograph. So we have captured photograph for each and every individual which we have studied. We are already having this record of every individual. So photograph also we have studied later on. Then papilla, observance of the papilla over the tongue, presence of papilla, that is whether the tongue is smooth or it is rough. So presence of papilla can be studied directly by direct visualization, or with the help of the photograph also you can study. Texture of the tongue, you can feel the texture. So you have to wear a thin glove in the hand, and then ask the patient to draw the tongue, or ask the volunteer to draw the tongue, and then touch the surface of the tongue with the help of the finger. The surface is touched, the prominent, you have to feel the whether the tongue is smooth, rough, or it is soft or hard, or any kind of growth or any kind of roughness is present over the tongue. So like this we have seen the texture of the tongue. Then wetness of the tongue, for assessment of the wetness or moisture of the tongue, there is one criteria, that is the clinical oral dryness scale. This has been used, we have used this criteria as well. There is, with the help of the laryngeal mirror, you can assess this. So the laryngeal mirror is taken, patient is asked or the volunteer is asked to draw the tongue, and within the 1 minute of the protrusion of the tongue, this has to be established, because when after the protrusion, because of the atmospheric condition, the tongue may dry. So before drying of the tongue, you have to, as soon as the patient or the volunteer protrudes the tongue, you have to see whether the dryness is present or it is properly moist. The moisture is there. So moisture will depend upon the hydration condition of the hydration of the patient, how much hydration status of the patient is there. According to that, the dryness or oral wetness will be there. So if the mirror properly sticks to the buccal mucosa, or it sticks to the tongue, or if there is presence of saliva, frothy saliva is there, there may be mild dryness may be present. There is no pooling of the saliva, the tongue shows generally shortened papilla. Papilla may get there may be depapillization because of the dryness, and this dryness that is long standing, काफी दिनों तक रहेगा, तब आएगा ये. There may be alteration in the gingival architecture, so that because the papilla they become smooth, or there will be depapillation, and because of depapillation the tongue becomes smooth. So that we have studied. So there may be moderate dryness, severe dryness. There will be glassy appearance of the oral mucosa. The palate may be dry, the tongue may be lobulated, or it may be fissured as well. There may be presence of caries in the tooth, and there may be presence of the debris or the palate, and also stickiness of the tongue, sticking to the debris, or it may be sticking to the tongue. That is, the debris may be present over the palate, or it may be present over the tongue as well. So that indicates the severe dryness. Then also we have examined the under surface of the tongue. Actually the under surface of the tongue examination, इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हमको कुछ नहीं देखना था, but whether there is tongue tie, that we were observing, and also the artery. Sometimes you can find that there is torture, the artery they may become tortuous, and you can find that there may be the vasculature may be increased under surface of the tongue. So that, to see that, we have done the examination of the under surface of the tongue. Then for assessment of pH paper or pH strips were used, which was having the pH indicator paper is there. So that we have used here. But now we also have the pH meter. So in other study, what we have done is we have used the pH meter for assessment of the pH of the saliva. In other study, this is not regarding this, but in this particular study, we have used the pH paper, pH indicator paper, where the color change we have seen. So there are various Ayurvedic parameters which we have studied, and according to the modern perspective, how we have studied that, it was the sfutit jiva, which is mentioned in Ayurveda, that the tongue will be fissured or sfutit. It is mentioned in Vatic jiva, affection of the Vat. When the Vat gets vitiated, the feature of the tongue, it becomes Sfutit. It becomes Sfutit. That is the tongue will have lot of fissure. Presence of fissures will be there. So on by inspection or by taking the photograph, you can see that the presence of fissure is there or not. Then sparsha, that is khar sparsha or roughness. You have to do the palpation of the tongue. By palpation, by doing the palpation, you can assess that the tongue has become khar or not, or it is smooth or rough, that we can see. Then color, that is rakta varna, sham varna, and this is done by inspection of the either direct inspection, or you can also inspect the photograph which you have taken. You have captured the photograph, and afterwards you can inspect that photograph, and you can come to a conclusion what is the color. And with the help of a standard color chart, we have tried to match that chart and assess the color. I will show you in the next slide. Then stickiness, that is the atipichilta, dryness, with the help of the clinical oral dryness scale we have measured. Then the color, that is the blackish color of the jihva, which is mentioned, that you can do by inspection or direct observation. Then uplep or coating, that is the tongue coating. With the help of the Lee tongue coating index, we have assessed what type of coating and how much the extension of the coating is there. Then the size of the tongue, as I have told you that the size of the tongue we have assessed with the help of a measuring tape. But after protrusion of the tongue, we can do that, and also with the help of the Malampati airways assessment criteria. This is also standard method for assessment of the tongue size. So this we have used. Then tongue thickness, by palpating the tongue, you can assess the tongue thickness. Motility by inspection. The another method is electromyopathy, which we have not used, but only by the inspection we can see the motility of the tongue. Then regarding the observation and result, ये बहुत ज़्यादा important है नहीं, but still socio-demographic profile of the study individual, we have selected 73 healthy individuals were there. Out of that, 67% were female and 32.9% were male. They were all age group of 21 to in between the 21 to 35. उससे बीच के ही लोग थे, से ज़्यादातर सभी लोग हमने select किए थे. Then locality, that is this plays an important role because in rural society and urban society, they are having various different type of beliefs regarding the oral hygiene. ओरल हाइजीन से रिलेटेड लोगों के बहुत अलग अलग धारणाएं हैं, और उसी के हिसाब से अगर आप देखेंगे तो लोकेलिटी का इफेक्ट उस पर पड़ता है. Also the socio-economic status, it has less to play, but it has important that the socio-economic condition of the patient is equally important, because their belief, whatever they are using for the oral hygiene, how much oral hygiene they are maintaining, that also is important. So isliye the we have seen that from the urban locality, 83.6% of the individuals were from urban, and 16.4% of the individuals were from rural locality. Then upper class तो बहुत कम थे, 5.5. Middle class people were 87.7%. Then level of activity, if you see that there were the individuals which were doing routine activity, routine work, we have calculated, asked that what type of work they are doing, because they are students, so they are not involved in much heavy work, but going to college, doing their day-to-day activities. So routine work they used to do 84.9%, and very active work, that is they were used to play in the playground. So very active work also they were doing, but there were no one who was having sedentary lifestyle. We have tried to assess the prakriti of the patients. So we have found most of the individuals, they were having Dvandvaj prakriti, and most of the individuals or volunteers, they were from these two groups, that is Vat Kafaj prakriti and Pitta Vata prakriti. Pitta Vata prakriti 47.994%, and Vata Kafaj prakriti 43.83%, because the effect of prakriti you can see very well on the tongue. The characteristics of the tongue, they do change and they do appear over the tongue according to the prakriti of the individual. Also the Agni. Dietary habits, because they were resident of the hostel, they used to have सभी लोगों का डाइट एक जैसे ही था, तो इसलिए इसमें कोई बहुत चेंजेस नहीं है. तो रेगुलर डाइट और रेगुलर उन लोगों का जो हॉस्टल में जो डाइट मिलती है, वही डाइट उन लोगों की सबकी एक जैसे ही थी. डाइटरी हैबिट रेगुलर था, सुबह का नाश्ता, दोपहर का खाना, रात का खाना, लाइक दैट. They were having regular dietary habit. Vegetarian, most of them they were having vegetarian diet. That is 61.64% of the individuals, they were vegetarian, having vegetarian diet. And then the Abhyavaran Shakti, we have assessed Abhyaran Shakti, Jaran Shakti, and the type of status of the Agni, whether the Agni was Samagni, Vishamagni, or Tikshnagni, or Mandagni, because the effect of Agni we are about to study. So we have, there is a questionnaire for assessment of Agni. So we have used that questionnaire, standard questionnaire, and that according to that questionnaire, we have found that most of the individuals, they were having Samagni, followed by Tikshnagni and Mandagni and Vishamagni. The features of the tongue features among the various individuals or volunteers, what we have seen was, first is the tongue size. The average tongue size we have, because we have used uh, the measurement for that also we have used, and also the criteria what we have, I have told you that Malampati criteria, that also we have used, and along with that the measurement, how many centimeters long the tongue is, that also we have used. So average tongue size for which ranges from 4.5 to 6 centimeter. Most of the individuals, most of the volunteer, they were having average tongue size, that is 78.1% of the individuals, they were having average tongue size, followed by a long tongue, and the very less percentage was of small tongue. I have already told you how to assess the small tongue, that the classes of Malampati criteria, where you have asked the patient to protrude out the tongue and then visualize the posterior part of the mouth, that is whether the pauses are visible, or the uvula is visible or not. So in case of small size tongue, you can very well see. Then shape of the tongue, whether it is U shape or V shape, that we have seen. Then color of the tongue, we have divided the color into pink, crimson red, or pale color. So we have not come across the individuals, those who were having pale color tongue. Most of the individuals or volunteers, they were having 57.5%, they were having pink color tongue. Along with that also, along with this physical characteristics, we have also done the biochemical parameters to see whether the individuals or their parameters are normal or not. तो वो भी हमने किया था, तो उसका कंपैरिजन भी हम अगले स्लाइड्स में देखेंगे. Then color of the coating, if it is present, then what color of the coating is there, that also we have seen. So there are various, that is light yellow color coating or dark yellow color coating. So we have seen that most of the individuals, they were not having any kind of coating, but the coating was present, which was mild coating was present, and that too the color of the coating was light yellow color. Light yellow color coating was present in most of the volunteers, that is 49.4%, and mild coating in 58.9% of the individuals, the mild coating was present. Then the other tongue features which we have seen, there were the presence of fissure. So we have seen that most of them, they were not having any kind of fissure, but only 10.9% of the individuals or volunteers, they were having shallow or fine fissures over the surface of the tongue. Then the texture of the tongue, the most of the individuals or volunteers, they were having smooth texture of the tongue, that is 93.2% individuals, they were having smooth surface of the tongue. Then under surface, the under surface was very normal for most of the individuals or most of the volunteers, they were having normal under surface of the tongue. Then for regarding the dryness, all the volunteers, they were having normal oral dryness score. So 94% of them, they were having oral dryness score was 94%, they were having normal wetness. So wetness was there, no one was having dryness किसी को नहीं था, बहुत mild dryness था. Then pH also we have estimated, so all the volunteers, they were having the pH in between 6.5 to 8. And now this is about these pictures, they are showing the size of the tongue. Here you can see that when you have asked the individual to open the mouth and protrude out the tongue, the posterior part of the mouth is not visible here. So this is the large size tongue. Here also it is not visualized. So tongue, you can see that it is a large size tongue. This tongue is long tongue. Yes, large size है और U shaped tongue है. This is long and V shaped tongue. आगे देखते हैं कि हमने shape कैसे assessment किया. This is the small size tongue, and this is the dorsal surface of the tongue, which we have asked the patient to invert the tongue and see the under surface of the tongue, whether the prominent vessels are there or not. Here there are no prominence of the vessel, it is normal. This is also again a long size tongue. Then shape of the tongue, how we will assess that, after asking the patient to protrude the mouth, you take the photograph, and over this photograph, with the help of the computer, you have to draw the lines. These are the imaginary lines you draw here, and then tip of the tongue. Then you see the shape of the tongue. So shape का बहुत ज़्यादा significance वैसे तो नहीं है, but still we have tried to assess the shape of the tongue. So we have come across the individuals or volunteers those who were having U-shaped tongue. There were more, that is 67.1% of the individuals, they were having U-shaped tongue followed by V-shaped tongue. Then other features like presence of fissure over the tongue. Here you can see that there is presence of a central fissure which is deep. Here also in case of this type of tongue, there are multiple fissures which are present. Central fissures bhi hai or lateral fissures bhi present hai. So there are deep fissures over the tongue. This is the under surface of the tongue where you can see that there is no prominence of the vessels, and this is the normal under surface of the tongue. Then this is the standard color chart which we have used to compare the color of the tongue as well as the compare the coating of the जो टंग का कलर है वो भी और टंग की जो कोटिंग है उसके भी कलर को कंपेयर करने के लिए हमने ये स्टैंडर्ड चार्ट को हमने यूज किया है कंपैरेटर के लिए रूप में. सो हियर यू कैन सी दैट इट इज अ पिंक कलर टंग, this is the crimson red color tongue which is normal for healthy individual. Then regarding the coating of the tongue, so most of the individuals, they were not having any kind of coating, so there is no coating over the tongue surface. But some of the individuals, those who were having coating, they were having light yellow color. So this light yellow color is compared with this color chart, that this is the light yellow color coating, and it is very less area is covered with the coating. So there is very mild coating which is present over the surface of the tongue. Here also there is very mild coating present. Here है dark coating, and most of the area it is covered. So coating color we have assessed. After that we have also used the physical parameters, और इसके साथ साथ कुछ biochemical parameters भी हमने यूज किया था उसको इंडिविजुअल्स की हेल्थ को देखने के लिए. So height, weight, BMI, pulse, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, which we have used. Also we have assessed the hemoglobin and ESR of the individuals to see whether they are having their parameters are normal. To confirm whether the parameters are normal, we have assessed this. Then also we have done the blood sugar, that is the fasting blood sugar, post meal blood sugar. Also we have done the glycolated hemoglobin. Also we have done the lipid profile, that is triglyceride, HDL, LDL, urea creatinine was also done, which was within range because the individuals all they were healthy, so they were within normal range. Then we have tried to assess the relationship between the Deha Prakriti and Doshik Jiva, the type of Jiva which we have categorized. It is actually very difficult to categorize the individual Jiva into particular type of Jiva, but according to the physical characteristics of the Jiva which we have examined during this study, that we have categorized the various types of Jiva according to this Samhita. What has been discussed in this Samhita, we have studied those characters, and this Prakriti, we have tried to establish the correlationship between the Jivha and the Deha Prakriti. So we have seen that according to the Deha Prakriti, we can get the characteristics of the Jivha. That इसका ये correlation किया गया था, तो correlation जो है वो correlation between the group किया गया chi-square test के हिसाब से. तो उसमें हमको ये जिह्वा का ये प्रकृति है, this side Deha Prakriti is there, and the various types of Jiva, that is the characteristics of Jiva what we have studied, that is there. Then whether the coating extension is according to the Agni status of the patient or individuals or not, that we have seen. So Agni and the extension of the coating, that we have tried to establish. So in most of the individuals, they were having Samagni. So there were no coating extension, coating tha bhi nahi, or coating extension bhi agar hai to it was very mild nature. So we have seen that there is the comparison in between the coating extension and Agni is established, that if the Agni is Samagni, there will be no coating, or either if the coating is present, it is a very mild coating which is present. So Agni status is important in case of coating. Coating जो है टंग के ऊपर coating के लिए Agni का status बहुत ही important होता है. Then Agni coating and the color of the coating. So already in the earlier slide we have seen that the most of the individuals, they were having Samagni, and there was no coating in most of the individuals, there were no coating. And even if the coating was there, the color of the coating is very light yellow, dark yellow, or no coating. The maximum लोगों में no coating था because they were having Samagni. but still in some individuals the coating was present, that is mild coating was present, which was having light yellow color. Then we have tried to establish the relationship between the Agni status and the doshik type of jivha. तो अग्नि स्टेटस में समाग्नि, विषमाग्नि, तीक्ष्णाग्नि, मंदाग्नि और ये जो दोषिक टाइप जिह्वा के जो टाइप्स हमने कैटेगराइज किए हुए हैं उसको भी एस्टेब्लिश करने का कोशिश किया. तो उसमें वी हैव फाउंड दैट देयर इज रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द अग्नि एंड द जिह्वा. जिह्वा का जो टाइप है वो और अग्नि के स्टेटस में हमको रिलेशनशिप मिलता है. So if you come across the various parameters, so what we have seen that these are the various photographs of the type of the jiva which we have categorized. जो हमने categorize किया था कि जिह्वा किस प्रकार की होती है, जैसे संहिता में लिखा हुआ है कि वातज जिह्वा जो होती है वो रुक्ष होती है, थिन होती है या स्फुटित होती है. तो उसी प्रकार से हमने जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स स्टडी किए, फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, उसको लेके हमने जिह्वा को कैटेगराइज किया. तो ये कुछ पिक्चर्स है, फोटोग्राफ्स है इंडिविजुअल्स के, जिसमें कि हमने जो कैटेगराइज किया है उसके हिसाब से, दोषों के हिसाब से. तो ये वात जिह्वा का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है कि वात जिह्वा जो है वो थिन होती है या उसके ऊपर फिशर या स्फुटित होती है. पित्त जिह्वा में हमको कुछ ज्यादा रक्तवर्ण का कोटिंग भी मिला है और रक्तवर्ण का. कफत जिह्वा जो है वो थोड़ी थिक होती है, मोटी होती है. Now we have come to a conclusion that the most of the individuals, that is they were having average size of the tongue. Then most of the volunteers, they were having U-shaped tongue, which was followed by V-shaped tongue. The color of the tongue was pink color followed by crimson red color, because all the individuals they were having normal parameters. जितने भी parameters है जैसे hemoglobin है, यह है सब normal था, तो इसलिए उनका normal individuals है, इसलिए color जो है वो pink था. और इसके अलावा crimson red color भी tongue का हमको मिला है. Then the coating which was present, the coating which was mild, the coating which was present was mild coating. Most of the individuals, they were not having coating, the tongue was smooth. But those individuals who were having coating, they were having mild coating, and the color of the coating was light yellow in color, which was present over the central part of the tongue. Then extension was very very mild. Fissure, maximum individuals, they were not having any kind of fissures. But जिनका वात प्रिडोमिनेंट जिह्वा था, वात प्रकृति था, उनकी जिह्वा के ऊपर फिशर्स या स्फुटित जिह्वा मिलता है, वो हमने देखा कैरेक्टराइजेशन में. देन पीएच भी हमने स्टडी किया था, तो पीएच वाज फाउंड टू बी इन बिटवीन 6.5 to 8. So our conclusion is that the influence of the doshik prakriti, sharirik doshik prakriti is there over the characteristics of the tongue. Most of the healthy individuals, that is the volunteers which we come across, they were having some agni, and we have found that there is influence of the agni over the tongue coating and also over the tongue extension. Extension के ऊपर भी आपको मिलता है. These are the some of the guest lecture which I have delivered regarding this particular topic, जो कि इस टॉपिक के ऊपर मैंने बहुत सारे जगह पर नेशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में पेपर प्रेजेंट किए हैं. उनमें से एक पेपर था 8th Euro Indian International Conference on Holistic Medicine, which was organized by the Institute of Holistic Medicine Medical Science at Kottayam in Kerala, and with the help of the और अदर दूसरे भी आयुर्वेद के और अदर इंस्टीट्यूशंस भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व थे. तो ये इंटरनेशनल इसमें हमने ये प्रेजेंट किया था. इसके अलावा कुछ नेशनल भी सेमिनार्स या कॉन्फ्रेंसेस थे, उसमें भी हमने ये पेपर प्रेजेंट किया था. बुक, दिस पर्टिकुलर बुक on this particular topic is been published by the Scholar Press. ये इंटरनेशनल पब्लिकेशन है, इसमें ये पब्लिश हुआ है, and this book is available on Amazon. So tongue and its examination as per Ayurvedic Sanhita. So this is all about what are our future plan. Already some of our students, they are carrying out this work over on the Jiva Pariksha, and I have a plan, or we have a plan regarding the to study this particular Jiva Pariksha in a large population, and along with the Prakriti and Agni, and along with the some biochemical parameters also we have to study to come to a conclusion. So we need a large group. This was a very small sample size, that is only 73 individuals we have selected. So we need a large sample size to come to more conclusion. और ज़्यादा अच्छा conclusion और ज़्यादा अच्छा study करने के लिए हमको large sample size चाहिए. तो हम कोशिश करेंगे कि इसके ऊपर एक प्रोजेक्ट लिया जाए. वैसे हम इसका काम अभी चल रहा है. Then in future, what further plans are there, that Jiva Pariksha we are about to study in diseases like Amvat, क्योंकि इसमें अग्नि इन्वॉल्व है, तो अग्नि और तो इसीलिए हम ये चाहते हैं कि आम वात या पक्षाघात जैसे और अन्य व्याधियों में भी इसका परीक्षा कर सके। फिर और भी स्टडी कर सकते हैं, जैसे टंग कोटिंग का जो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स है, या टंग कोटिंग एक्सटेंशन या थिकनेस ऑफ टंग कोटिंग according to the disease, that also can be studied. So we have a plan that we can study regarding the tongue coating and coating extension, and also the microorganisms, जो भी microorganisms which are, if they are there, बहुत बार तो स्टेराइल ही होता है टंग कोटिंग, लेकिन अगर माइक्रोऑर्गेनिजम्स है तो दोज माइक्रोऑर्गेनिजम्स दे आर रिलेटेड विद द वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ oral diseases, presence of oral diseases that has been seen in several studies I have come across. जब ये वर्क स्टार्ट किया तो हमने बहुत सारे लिटरेचर स्टडी किया, तो उसमें देखा कि टंग कोटिंग का जो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं, दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर वेरियस ओरल डिजीजेस लाइक डिजीजेस ऑफ टंग एंड डिजीजेस ऑफ टीथ या फिर गम्स, दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल. So that also study can be done, and we have a plan to study. Then to study the various biochemical parameters of saliva. One study we have done regarding the saliva, that is the salivary pH also we have studied in case of diabetes patient and healthy individual. Healthy volunteers और diabetic patient में saliva का pH क्या है, क्या चेंज होता है, ये भी हमने स्टडी किया है. तो फर्दर हमारा ये भी प्लानिंग है कि अदर डिजीजेस में भी हम करें या फिर लार्ज सैंपल साइज लेके करें. So thank you one and all. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you, madam, for your nice lecture. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am, for presenting very nicely. Your presentation intended your hard work towards the JEVA Pariksha. As academician, we all are aware that JEVA Pariksha is not very much explored, और इस पे बहुत ज़्यादा काम नहीं हुआ है, जैसे कि हम लोग देखते भी रहते हैं. और मैडम इज वर्किंग वेरी एक्सटेंसिवली एंड वेरी हार्डली टुवर्ड्स द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ जेवा परीक्षा. तो आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं मैडम, आपने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से प्रेजेंट किया. नाउ आई विश टू रिक्वेस्ट प्रोफेसर देश पांडे मैडम फॉर हिज वैल्यूएबल रिमार्क. मैडम, ओवर टू यू. प्रोफेसर देश पांडे मैडम.
Thank you, Anurag ji. First of all, I would like to thank the Academy of Rognidan, Dr. Pawan Kumar sir, Dr. Varshney sir, Dr. Pandey sir, for giving me the opportunity to chair this session. Thank you all. I would like to congratulate Dr. Priya for the nice presentation. She had already given the importance of Trivida Pariksha, Ashtavida Pariksha and various other Parikshas. And the most important, Prakrititaha Vikrititaha Parikshe. If you don't know the Prakriti, you cannot go for the Vikriti Pariksha. So Prakriti Pariksha is very important in the clinical examination. The second thing, she had tried to establish the objective parameters in the Jiva Pariksha. So I would like to congratulate her for presenting the objective parameters in Jiva Pariksha. But I should say that to establish these parameters for the Jiva Pariksha and in correlation with the Ayurvedic Jiva Pariksha, the sample size should be very large. And the academy can work on this with the multicentric research project, which will be a very good participation of the academy in establishing the objective parameters in specific parikshanas. If we think like this, we can take one by one projects for these by the academy, and we can have the multicentric trials, which will be a very good participation in establishing the research work from the Ayurveda faculty. So very good effort, which can be a baseline project for the multicentric trial. She had very well chosen the pH parameter, coating index, and color index, dryness scale, and all these things. Very good effort is taken by her. Various pathological conditions are also stated in this presentation. But I think if the correlation with Ayurvedic conditions is included in this presentation, it will help better for the understanding of by Ayurvedic students and or other people also. So also the dosha prakop lakshanas, panchavautikatva, and we can think all these panchavautikatva, sharira rachanatmak, kriyatmak vikrutis and all these things, and we can think over these with uh, all other inputs you can include in the next presentation. So a very good presentation, Priya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for appreciation, and also for your ideas that we can conduct a multicentric trial. Yeah, very true. We need a large sample size. So wholeheartedly, I welcome that. And what parameters I have used, that is according to the Ayurveda Samhita only. But standardization, because you know that the methods which we have used, they are already standardized and validated. A few methods what were there, then I have come across certain studies while doing uh, mm, this this research work. One thesis was there from somewhere. I have, as an examiner, it has come to me, where I have seen that it was there that in they have done Jihva Pariksha in Atisar, but there was no discussion regarding the Jihva Pariksha.
Yeah.
बाकी अतिसार के बारे में सबके बारे में डिस्कशन था, लेकिन जिह्वा परीक्षा के बारे में कुछ भी डिस्कशन नहीं किया हुआ था. तो आई थॉट दैट जिह्वा परीक्षा हैज टू बी स्टडीड. if people are trying to study jiva pariksha, then the parameters of the jiva pariksha, they are to be studied instead of studying only one or two parameters. like किसी ने ड्राइनेस स्टडी किया है या उसका कलर स्टडी किया है, तो जो आयुर्वेद में दिया हुआ है एज अ होल उसको स्टडी करेंगे तो ज्यादा बेटर रहेगा.
So that's very true. But we can have a moment for this, that we can have the multicentric trials and we can establish this study on with a higher sample size.
Very true, very true. It
Yes,
needs a
ma'am.
large sample size.
Yes,
we,
ma'am.
we have also done study in diabetes patient.
Yes, ma'am. I also wish to submit the audience that one person in my contact book is working on the selfie of tongue selfie, making an instrument. Basically, he's an IITian and he's trying to establish an instrument just like pulse examination instrument in Ayurveda. कि टंग सेल्फी अगर हम सुबह सुबह लेंगे और फिर उसको हम कोलरेट करेंगे कि नॉर्थ में अगर एकादशी के दिन फास्टिंग रखती है, साउथ में लोग बाग रखते हैं कि नहीं रखते, तो उसकी तरह से एक वो नक्षत्र के हिसाब से भी उसको कोरिलेट करना चाहते हैं. तो उस डेटा को फिर वो हम ले जाएंगे और वैसे करेंगे. तो जस्ट वेरी सिंपल इंस्ट्रूमेंट. आजकल सेल्फी लेना बच्चों में बहुत ट्रेंडी है. मॉर्निंग में उठ करके एक बार आपको सेल्फी लेना है और वो उस डेटा को उस सॉफ्टवेयर में ऑटोमेटिक रिकॉर्ड हो जाएगा. दैट इज अ डायनेमिक वर्जन. तो 1 महीने के बाद में फिर वो असेसमेंट करके बताएंगे कि वाराणसी में अगर कोई ज्यादा मंडे का दिन यहाँ फास्ट के लिए रिचुअल के लिए फेमस है, तो मंडे को हो सकता है यहाँ ट्यूसडे को टंग का कलर कैसा होगा, क्योंकि फास्ट में अगर रहेंगे हाइपोग्लाइसेमिया की कंडीशन होती है, या हम कभी कभी प्रोटीनियस डाइट ज्यादा ले लेते हैं सैटरडे नाइट और संडे नाइट और सम फेस्टिव सीजन, तो उसके बाद में क्या होगा अगर किटन बॉडीज बनते हैं, या डायबिटिक कोई पेशेंट है तो उनका हम डेटा अलग निकाल लेंगे कि दीज आर द अबव 60 ईयर ओल्ड मैन और उनका इस ये डायबिटीज है या हाइपरटेंशन है तो उनका कैसे जाएगा. तो ऐसे एक कोई व्यक्ति हैं शायद इज इन महाराष्ट्र, तो वो इस पे काम कर रहे हैं. अगर वो बन जाएगा तो हो सकता है इट में बी हेल्पफुल फॉर द मल्टी सेंट्रिक क्लिनिकल ट्रायल एज ए टूल. तो
और हमें ये भी डेटा और मिल जाएगा कि प्रकृति के हिसाब से कौन से टाइप की टंग ऐसे दिखते हैं और मॉडर्न पैरामीटर्स में वो कहाँ पे बैठते हैं.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for your valuable inputs. Time is moving on, and I'm bounded to with the discipline of the time. So I now very much thankful to respected Manjari ma'am for your valuable input and suggestions. Now I wish to invite anyone who is joined in the Zoom platform to append or submit something or add on something with the madam lectures. Or my request to kindly avoid the questioning. Anyone, please. Anyone who wish to submit something related to this topic?
दाहलेकर जुड़े हुए हैं. दाहलेकर जी, ब्यादगी जी कुछ अगर कहना
राजकिकर
चाहें।
सर, ब्याडगी सर।
Actually, I am very much thankful to Dr. Priyadarshini Madam for highlighting the Jivha Pariksha because most of the people are aware that there are very less studies or less clinical trials or less documentation that has been done on Jivha Pariksha. So she made an attempt to give the some objective parameters to correlate the concept of Jivha Pariksha in relation to the Prakriti and Agni. So by seeing the Agni, by seeing the Jiva itself, we can correlate we can assess the status of the Agni and to a certain extent to the Prakriti also. So in that way, it is a very good effort done by her, and I hope such work will be taken by her in future also. And I invite the other people also, as Professor Manjari Madam has rightly pointed out, this study should be taken at various centers so that you can collect the data from different centers, and we can conclude and we can compile those data, and we can come up with the different versions of the experts. Maybe there are different versions, or there may be different scientific ideas may be coming out from different angles. So that can also be taken into consideration, and this so that we can finalize and standardize this particular Jivha Pariksha for the benefit of the practitioners as well as for the students. This is my suggestion. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर। एनीवन एल्स? संदीप सर और कोई हैं जो अपना कुछ इनपुट देना चाहते हैं?
हाँ सर, मैं कुछ बोलना चाहता हूँ।
यस सर, प्लीज।
हाँ, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं हमारे गुरु मंजरी देशपांडे मैडम को अभिवादन करता हूँ, और मैं अभिनंदन भी करता हूँ प्रियदर्शनी मैडम का कि उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा विषय को उन्होंने इनपुट्स किया है और बहुत अच्छे तरीके से उसे इलाबोरेट करने का प्रयास किया है। पर ऐसा कहीं लग रहा है कि कुछ तो आयुर्वेद छूट रहा है, मॉडर्न ज्यादा हो गया, या वो मॉडर्न भी था तो वो कोलैबोरेट नहीं कर पा रहे हम, ऐसा कुछ इस तरह से मुझे वो फीलिंग आया। इट्स ओके, बट मुझे ये पूछना था मैडम से कि जो बेहतरीन इनपुट्स आपने एक दिया था, इज देयर एनी स्टडी प्रियदर्शनी मैडम कि कल्चर ऑफ द टंग
Yes.
और उसके रिगार्डिंग चेंजेस इन कलर ऑफ द टंग, ये कुछ हुआ है स्टडी?
नहीं,
बैक्टीरियल कल्चर स्टडी और
बैक्टीरियल कल्चर में हुआ है, लेकिन कलर पर नहीं हुआ। कलर और उसका कंपैरिजन नहीं है
मैडम। हम ये रिलेशन लगा सकते हैं क्या, द कल्चर ऑफ द बैक्टीरिया एंड कलर ऑफ द टंग, लाइक दैट?
मुझे नहीं लगता है, क्योंकि कलर ऑफ द टंग इज वेरी डिफरेंट, एंड कोटिंग के साथ आप कलर का कर सकते हैं। कोटिंग, कलर ऑफ द कोटिंग एंड द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स व्हिच आर प्रेजेंट इन द टंग कोटिंग, उसके साथ कंपैरिजन है, या फिर कुछ ओरल डिजीजेस के साथ कंपैरिजन जरूर है। जैसे जिंजिवाइटिस के साथ मुझे स्टडीज मिली है कि द प्रेजेंस ऑफ ओरल माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स एंड इंसिडेंस ऑफ जिंजिवाइटिस इन पेशेंट्स, ये स्टडी मिले हैं। यहाँ तक कि एक स्टडी ऐसा भी था कि एवरी इंडिविजुअल इज हैविंग अ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टंग, एंड दे आर सेइंग दैट टंग मे बी एन इंडिकेटर फॉर आइडेंटिटी, लाइक व्हाट वी हैव लाइक इन रेटिना। इस टाइप का एक स्टडी है, बट दैट इज नॉट मच रिलेवेंट। मुझे नहीं लगा कि टंग जो है वो इतना आइडेंटिटी फीचर हो सकता है। यस,
I want to add something. यहाँ डेंटिस्ट्री में भी ऐसे कई प्रोजेक्ट हुए हैं
मैडम, हुए हैं, वेरी ट्रू।
क्योंकि ओरल हाइजीन और ओरल माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स, पीएच एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स पे बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हुए हैं, हम भी ऐसे कर सकते हैं। और मेरे ख्याल से मैडम ने कोरिलेशन का प्रयास तो किया है आयुर्वेद और मॉडर्न का, लेकिन अभी टाइम की वजह से ज्यादा वो दे नहीं सकी, ऐसे मुझे लगा।
एग्रीड।
नहीं, एक्चुअली I have not tried to correlate anything. Correlation मेरा मुद्दा था ही नहीं। मेरा मुद्दा जो आयुर्वेदिक पैरामीटर्स है उसको मॉडर्न पैरामीटर्स के साथ स्टडी करना था। मेरा कोरिलेशन नहीं किया किसी भी चीज का।
नहीं, जब भी हम प्रोजेक्ट, कौन सा भी रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, हमारा ही प्रोजेक्ट हम पीछे जाके रिट्रोस्पेक्टिव जब रिव्यू करते हैं तो हमें ऐसे लगता है कि कुछ तो छूट गया है जो मैं प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पाई।
सही बात है, ये तो हमेशा
प्रोजेक्ट में ऐसे होता ही है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर हम पीछे जाके वापस उसको ये करना चाहते हैं तो हमें ऐसे लगता है कि ये हम रिलेट कर सकते हैं, तो वो अभी भी उस पे कुछ पेपर एस्टेब्लिश कर सकती है कि जो भी
ओके,
प्रकृति है उनमें कौन सी फाइंडिंग
बोथ ऑफ द डिग्निटरीज आंसर वेरी वेल मैडम। हाँ मंजरी मैडम। मैडम एक सवाल था जो मुझे खाया जा रहा है और बोधक कप के सिवा मुझे कुछ और आंसर नहीं मिल पा रहा है, पर क्या आप मुझे बताएंगे व्हाई देयर इज अ रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ सामता ड्यू टू जीआई ट्रैक? अग्निमान्यता और सामता और आमता जीवा पे कैसे प्रकट होती है, वो उसका इंटरलिंकेशन क्या है?
हमने जो स्टडी किया है उसमें हमारे जितने भी इंडिविजुअल्स थे उसमें तो समाग्नि हमको मिला, और समाग्नि की वजह से जिह्वा में कोई कोटिंग नहीं हुआ। तो इसलिए हम ये एस्टेब्लिश कर सकते हैं कि प्रकृति और अग्नि का जो स्टेटस है वो और जिह्वा लेप यानी कि जिह्वा कोटिंग, इसका रिलेशन है। और इसका रिलेशन हमें मिला भी है कि जिनमें जिनमें मंदाग्नि होती है उनमें जिह्वा कोटिंग मिलती ही है। तो ये तो आयुर्वेद एस्टेब्लिश है।
ना
और
मैडम,
जो
वो एस्टेब्लिश कैसा करेंगे कि व्हाई अग्निमान्यत्व
तो
एंड अग्नि दृष्टि और
उसके लिए हमने
अग्नि?
क्वेश्चनेयर के साथ स्टडी किया है ना। क्वेश्चनेयर जो है उससे क्वेश्चन पूछ के फिर ये एस्टेब्लिश किया है कि क्या अग्नि क्या स्टेटस अग्नि का है, वो
नहीं
क्वेश्चनेयर
मैडम,
के
ये
आधार
तो
पर
रिजल्ट हुआ, रिलेशन क्या है? रिलेशन नहीं समझ में आता ना। there is the possibility that those person who having alpagni, those represented with the samajiva, but why there is a reflection of GI tract related over the tongue, वो मैं जानना चाहता
हाँ, मैं इसके लिए जवाब दूँ?
हूँ। यस सर यू कैन।
इसमें बेसिकली देखिए, जहाँ कफदोष का इन्वॉल्वमेंट होती है तो वहाँ पर मंदाग्नि होती है। तो कफदोष का इन्वॉल्वमेंट होने के कारण वो जिह्वा में अक्युमुलेट हो जाता है, तो उस कारण से वो जिह्वा में जिह्वा का कोटिंग होने के कारण तो दिखाई देता है। तो उसके आधार पर हम लोग मंदाग्नि को इजीली असेस कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, अब उसके साथ में आपका कोटिंग कौन सी कलर का है, कितना मोटे कलर है, कितना आकार में है, उसके आधार पर भी आप असेस कर सकते हो। तो आप अगर इट इज कफा
अनुराग जी, मुझे लगता है समय बहुत हो गया है, इसको हमको स्टॉप करना चाहिए, 2:30 बजने को आ गए।
यस सर
क्वेश्चन आंसर को हम बाद में उस पे डाल
okay.
दें, व्हाट्सएप पे डाल दें और उसका अप्रोप्रिएट व्यक्ति उसका आंसर दे दे।
ओके मैडम मैं ओके मैडम तद्दे संभाषा ज्ञान वर्धना नाम अग्रेयम, हम सभी जानते हैं और हमारे आचार्य ने भी कहा है, और इस प्रोग्राम को मैं अब वोट ऑफ थैंक्स की तरफ अग्रसित करता हूं। तो आई एम वेरी मच थैंकफुल टू अवर ऑफिस बेरर ऑफ एकेडमी ऑफ रोग निदान,
आराधना मैडम को अग्नि त्योर हो गया इसलिए
our national president Professor Pawan Kumar Godakpad sir.
भूख का समय हो गया है।
समझ गया
madam please wait for 2 minutes only, and I wish to thank our general secretary Professor Dr. Atul Kumar Varshney sir, and also I wish to congratulate and thanks to our today's speaker Dr. Priyadarshini Tiwari. She presented very well, very nicely. The presentation was very organized, the parameters you used is very unique and relevant, and very much thankful to respected and senior most faculty member Professor Manjari Deshpande madam for his continuous presence, as well as his very remarkable, very significant input on the lecture. And thank you to Dr. Pawan Vyadgi sir, Sandeep sir, Aradhana madam, and one and all who presented here on the virtual mode of Zoom as well as Facebook. Thank you one and all for being with us. Dhanyavad. Prashant ji, please end the meeting.
यस बॉस, अभी करता हूँ।
हर हर